Welcome back to my channel. So, andito na naman si Binibining Lindsay para mag-share sa inyo ng panibagong kaalaman. Okay, so for today's video ay i-discuss naman natin itong mga non-classroom observable indicators kung ikaw ay mag-a-apply for Teacher 6 under ECP system. So, as you can see, makikita natin dito yung mga MOVs na kailangan. Ano yung school year or sang school year natin pwedeng balikan para ma-harvest natin yung mga MOVs natin. And then, ano yung mga sample MOVs presented and description of the MOV and sample annotation. So, etong tatlong side dito na MOV presented, description of the MOV, and yung annotations, yan na mismo yung gagawin natin if mag-annotate tayo sa application natin. Okay? So, baka lang naman makatulong to sa yung video na to, no, sa pagpe-prepare mo ng iyong mga non-classroom observable indicators. So, disclaimer lang, no? So, nakadepende pa rin sa MOV na ipepresent nyo yung pag-annotate. Pwedeng hindi tayo parehas ng MOV ipepresent, kaya magkaiba tayo ng way ng pag-annotate. Ayan, so, panoorin na pagpatuloy ng video na ito. Bukod doon, ang naging basis pala natin ng mga harvested encoys ay nagmula sa DepEd Order number 24, Series of 2025. Okay, simulan na natin ang discussion. For the first indicator, 46, for encoy, use research-based knowledge and principles of teaching and learning to enhance professional practice. So, ito yung mga MOVs needed. Any one of the following: lesson plan, activity sheets, assessment materials, and others. And saan natin siya pwedeng ma-harvest na portfolio? So, pwede nating balikan yung last school year, 2024-2025. Assuming na mag-a-apply ka 46. So, ito na yung dadalhin mo, no? Or halimbawa, ako, mag-a-apply ako 46. So, ito yung sample MOV na dadalhin ko at ipepresent ko sa application ko. Ang nilagay ko dito, lesson plan, activity sheets, and assessment materials. So, sa description of the MOV, dinescribe ko lang kung paano ko ginamit tong lesson plan na to, no? Short description lang. The lesson plan presents the teaching process of research and ethics, outlining strategies, activities, and assessment to guide learners in understanding and applying ethical practices in research. So, minention ko rin dyan kung ano yung topic na nakapaloob dun sa lesson plan ko at anong nilalaman ng lesson plan na yon. The activity sheets and assessment materials provide scenarios for learners to analyze, helping them understand the process and ethics of research. No? So, kung mapapansin natin sa description, paano ko siya ginamit? No? Etong mga MOVs presented ko. Next, annotations. Ito yung pagbibigay ko ng annotations. Pero bago yan, ano ba yung interpretation nitong use research base? Doon sa dalawang school na alam ko, meron silang iba't ibang way kasi talaga ng interpretation. So, another disclaimer, no? Mas mabuti na yung interpretation mo dito sa mga indicators na to ay kung ano yung interpretation sa schools nyo. Kasi sila yung magbibigay ng puntos, no? Hindi naman ako. Kaya, importante na makinig kayo kung paano in-interpret tong indicators na to. So, dun nga sa unang interpretation na alam ko is kapag daw itong use research base ay ito yung paggamit natin ng mga principles of teachings or mga theories. Like, for example, cognitive, Bloom's taxonomy, constructivism, yan, and etc. So, yun yung mga principles and teaching and for teaching and learning, diba? Or yung mga theories. And then, yung isa namang interpretation na alam ko is pag use research-based, ito yung paggamit natin ng mga research-based activities. Like, for example, mag-i-integrate ka dun sa activities nila ng mga research articles or mga existing research. Ayan. So, yun yung isang interpretation. So, paano ko siya in-annotate dito? Make sure na sa annotation ay, ang i-annotate mo is yung mismong MOV na present mo, no? Paano nagamit doon yung research-based knowledge and principles of teaching and learning. So, sabi ko dito, by employing constructivism and research-based activity. So, nilagay ko na kung ano yung in-employ kong principle. No? I was able to create engaging and meaningful learning environment that enhance my professional practice. This is evident. Ayan. So, nagbibigay ka na ng evidence mo na talagang in-integrate mo siya. Sa lesson plan, that presents the teaching process of research and ethics, including strategies, activities, and assessment. By the way, yung topic ko kasi dyan, etika ng pananaliksik, tsaka yung proseso ng pananaliksik. Ayan, the activity sheets, and explain ko rin muna kung paano makikita doon yung research base. Ayan. Aside from explaining, para maging talaga matibay itong annotation mo, magbigay ka ng sample activities wherein nakapag-integrate ka talaga nung constructivism at saka yung mga ito nga yung research-based principles, no? Yan. So, naglagay ako dito ng mga sample activities such as Etika Mahalaga, Honesto Promise, and Online si Binibining Lindsay. Yan, were used to strengthen students' appreciation of research ethics and their application in real-life context, no? Okay, as a result, naglagay rin ako ng result nung pagkatas ko gamitin yung research base na yon ng mga principles. Ano nangyari? As a result, my discussion and assessment fostered active participation, deeper comprehension, and development of higher-order thinking skills. No? So, may introduction ako kung ano yung principles of learning or research-based na ginamit ko. And then, nagbigay ako ng mga evidences, nagbigay ako ng sample activities, and binigay ko yung result pagkatapos ko siyang gamitin. So, ganun ko po siya in-annotate. So, nasa sa inyo pa rin yan kung paano nyo siya i-annotate, no? That's one. Okay. For the next indicator, participate in collegial discussion that use teacher and learner feedback to enrich teaching practice, no? Okay, so any one of the following dito, or better kung meron ka nito, no? Ayan, proofs of attendance in LAC session, FGD's meeting, other collegial discussion, minutes of LAC session, FGD's meetings, reflection notes of teacher under demonstration of teaching practices following participation from LAC, ayan, and equivalent ALS form document that highlights the objective. So, kahit ano dito, no, na MOVs ang gusto mo, no? And then, pwede mong balikan yung portfolio mo ng 2020 to 2023 para ma-harvest itong mga MOVs na to. And then, ito yung MOVs presented ko, or assuming na mag-a-apply nga ako, ito yung dinala ko. Minutes and proof of attendance tsaka reflection note ko dun sa LAC session na inattendan ko, no? And then, binigyan ko siya ng description. Ayan, minutes of LAC session about authentic assessment. Authentic assessment kasi yung topic, no, sa LAC session. So, yung proof of attendance ko sa LAC session about authentic assessment. Ayan, yung reflection notes ko. Kung ano yung naitulong sa akin nung authentic assessment na yan, no? Sa pagtuturo ko. And then, ganito ko siya in-annotate po. Sorry, bakit na? So, ganito ko siya in-annotate. I participated in LAC session on authentic assessment as evidenced by the minutes of and proof of my attendance. My reflection notes show my insights on integrating authentic assessment to address learning gaps. The LAC session focused on the integration of authentic assessment, which I believe is crucial in addressing the learning gaps experienced during the pandemic. Instead of relying solely on standardized tests or multiple items, I recognize the authentic assessment allows learners to demonstrate their understanding through real-life tasks that are meaningful and engaging. For me, participating in such session is essential because it promotes the exchange of ideas, the adoption of effective strategies, and the continuous improvement of my teaching practices to better respond to my learners' need. So, kung titingnan natin yung objective kasi, participate, no, in collegial discussion. So, ang dinidiscuss dito, paano nakakatulong tong pagpa-participates natin sa mga LAC session, sa meeting, or training sa pagtuturo natin. So, kung makikita nyo dun sa annotations natin, ayan, nagbigay ako ng mga sample din na kung paano ko siya in-apply. And, of course, ano yung kahalagahan ng pag-attend natin dito sa mga kinds ng sessions na to or trainings na to. Okay? So, in-annotate ko rin siya. So, yun po. Okay, next, pangatlo, communicate promptly and clearly the learner's needs, progress, and achievement to key stakeholders including parents and guardians. So, may edge na agad dito yung mga mga advisor, no? Pero syempre, kung wala kang advisory or subject teacher ka, pwede pa rin naman gawin to, no? So, any one of the following ang pwede mong MOVs dito. A sample of corrected test paper of learner in a learning area with parents or guardian signature. Minutes of meetings with key stakeholders. Report card with parents, guardian signature. Communication with key stakeholders. Anecdotal record. And equivalent as others. Okay, pwede nating balikan yung ating MOVs or portfolio ng 2022-2023 para ma-harvest to. Ako bilang teacher, ang ginilagay ko ditong MOV presented is yung sample corrected test paper of a learner in a learning area with parents or guardian signature and date of receipt. Kasi wala ako nitong advisory class, no? Kaya ito yung nilagay ko. Okay? So, a sample of corrected, ito naman description, a sample of corrected test paper with parents or guardian signature and date of receipt serves as a proof of the learner's performance and acknowledgement by the parent guardian. Kasi kung makikita natin yung objective, communicate promptly, no? And clearly the learner's needs, progress, achievement to key stakeholders, including nga yung mga parents, no? So, dapat nai-inform sila or nai-involve sila or na-communicate sa kanila yung progress and yung class standing ng kanilang mga anak. Okay? So, dito sa annotation, nilagay ko dito, I communicate promptly and clearly the learner's needs, progress, and achievements to key stakeholders, particular parents and guardians. A sample of corrected test paper with parents or guardian signature and date of receipt serves as a proof nga and acknowledgement din sa performance ng bata. This practice allows me to keep parents informed, ayan, of their child's academic standing, encourages collaboration in addressing learning gaps, and strengthen the home-school partnership for the learner's improvement. So, ano yung halaga nitong MOB na present ko, no? May inform yung mga learners, may inform yung mga parents, and of course, malalaman ng parents ano yung performance ng anak nila. So, ganun ko siya inannotate, no? Anong magagawa ng parents kung at least yung bata, anong maitutulong nila? At least na-involve sila sa process and nako-communicate sa kanila yung standing ng bata or ng anak nila mismo. Okay, next. Utilize assessment data to inform the modification. Next, ano na to ng indicator? Inform modification of teaching, learning practices, and programs. Sabi dito, utilize assessment data. So, a list, dito naman sa MOVs na kailangan, a list of identified least most mastered skills based on the frequency of errors. Yan. With any one of the following MOV, accomplishment, the report, intervention material, lesson plan, activity log for remediation and enhancement activities. So, dito kasi, di ba, kapag nagpa-exam tayo quarterly, di ba nagpapa-frequency of errors tayo? So nalalaman natin yung mga least mastered skills, no? So, after nun, anong gagawin natin? So, ito yung pinapoint out dito nitong indicator na to, no? Ano yung magiging modification natin kapag nakita natin itong mga competency pala na ito, yung mga least mastered, no? By the way, pwede natin itong makita dun sa portfolio natin ng 2023 tsaka 2024. So, pwedeng ma-harvest nyo kung ano man yung MOVs na nilagay nyo doon, no? Pero sa akin, ang present ko ditong MOV ay ito nga. Kasi ginawa ko naman to, no? Intervention plan, accomplishment report, individual learning monitoring plan, intervention material, and remediation. So, ulitin ko nga, no? Nung nakita mo na ito yung mga least mastered competencies, anong ginawa mo? So, sa akin, ito yung dadalhin kong MOVs kung mag-a-apply ako sa T6, no? Ayan. So, ito naman yung description. Yung intervention plan ko, it represents least mastered competencies and yung mga strategies and activities na gagawin ng mga bata, no? And then, yung accomplishment report, of course, accomplishment report nga, ibig sabihin na implement mo na, naglalaman to kung nagkaroon ng progress or naging successful yung implementation mo nung plan or intervention plan. And yung individual monitoring plan, dinagdag ko lang to, no, kasi dito makikita rin natin yung significant progress ng mga learners. And lastly, yung intervention material or remediation activity, dinescribe ko siya as nagko-contain ito ng mga activities or resources na nag-a-address ng difficulties, and especially yung least mastered competencies, no? Okay, so paano ko siya inannotate? Yan. I systematically apply and utilize assessment data to refine my teaching and learning practices, ensuring that my instruction is responsive to learners' need. By carefully, ayan, first process of course, inanalyze mo nga yung assessment result, in-identify mo mga least mastered skills, tapos nag-develop ako ng learning plan. So, nilagay ko dito yung prosesong ginawa ko or inannotate ko kung ano yung ginamit ko mga MOVs. Okay? Ayan. Yung mga materials na ginamit ko. And then, kung mapapansin nyo, nag-mention ulit ako kung ano-ano yung mga activities ko na ginamit. I also incorporate varied intervention activities such as pagsasanay sa mga gamit ng wika, pagsusuri sa mga sitwasyon sa paglalapat ng etika ng pananaliksik. Kasi itong mga activities na to, naka-align siya dun sa list mastered competencies, no? And, hindi mo pwedeng ihang yan. So, maganda sa annotation mo, may result ka kasi may accomplishment report kang ibinigay 'di ba? So as a result, my learners were able to make significant progress, demonstrating improved understanding, performance, and engagement in the learning process or dun sa mismo mga competencies, no? Or list mastered competencies. So yon, ganun ko siya inannotate. Okay, last indicator na yata to for T6, no? Develop a personal professional improvement plan based on reflection of one's practice and ongoing professional learning. So, ito yung mga MOVs na kailangan. Certification from ICT or yung tawag na ISAT, IPSRF DP, mid-year review form, updated IPSRF DP from phase 2. Okay, so pwede nating balikan yung ating MOVs na ginamit ng 2023-2024 sa portfolio natin, no? Ako, ang MOV na ipepresent ko kung ako yung mag-a-apply for T6 ay itong ISAT, IPSRF-DP, mid-year review form, tsaka updated IPSRF-DP from phase 2. So, dito naman, more on reflection mo to bilang teacher. More on reflection mo dun sa mga needs to improve mo or sa mga naging strength mo. And then, paano siya makakatulong dun sa learning process and teaching process natin bilang mga teacher, no? Okay, so binigyan ko siya dito ng description kung ano-ano yung mga yan. And, inannotate ko siya in such a way, paano ba ito makakatulong tong mga to? Ano bang naiambag nito sa aking pagtuturo, no? And sa process ng pagtuturo ko, no? I develop a personal professional improvement plan based on reflection of my practice and ongoing professional learning. My completion of ISAT, as certified by ICT, serves as a basis for my self-assessment. I use IPSRF-DP to outline my development plan, while the mid-year review reflects progress of areas of improvement. And then, the updated IPSRF-DP from phase 2 presents revision I made to address identified needs, no? I believe that reflecting on my own performance is essential in planning necessary actions for the betterment of teaching and learning process and for my continuous professional growth. Okay? So, ganun ko lang siya inannotate. Paano nakatulong to sa aking mga to, no? Okay. So, yun lang naman yung for Teacher 6 na mga non-classroom observable indicators with MOVs and sample annotations, no? So, nasa sa inyo pa rin yan. Pinaka-tip ko kung paano nyo siya ginamit at kung ano talaga yung ginamit nyo, yun yung i-present nyo. Hindi nyo kailangan mag-imbento nang hindi nyo naman ginawa. Okay po? Ayan. So, thank you so much for listening. Sana po ay nakatulong ako sa pag-prepare ng inyong MOVs for NCOY. Bye!